imposing a particular style of management on an existing garden, there will be limitations. But we're more and more realising, of course, that for people to be comfortable, I mean, the greatest thing since sliced bread has been raised beds. But there's another point about raised beds, and that is the design and the width of them. Fiona and I were talking earlier about what some of the projects that we might be doing in Beach Group this summer. And we look at tens of projects that come into us. There was one in the north of the country, thank goodness I can't remember the name of the people, the authority. But it was a new school, and all the work was done by the council, and presumably their people built these raised beds. Now the raised beds are about that width, and they're about that height, and the wains are not allowed to go up on them because it's a health and safety risk. What the bloody red up? I've never seen, and expensive. Very, very expensive. Oh, the last word and all the rest of it. What are they thinking of? How far can you stretch before you fall over? And so you say, well, the winds will just climb up, but they can't do that. They had to put a fence through it because it's above a certain. I think we are, those of us that are involved in this, are getting more and more aware of the need. Well, I'll tell you a funny story about that. I went to see a lady, Jen, who just retired, somewhere near Tame. And they had quite a big garden, but they'd started to build raised beds. And the raised beds were that high. I said, you might have done the job properly when you were at it, you know, just sort of kidding on and on. I said, oh, no, he says, fine. He says, I can get there. He says, but in another 4 years I might have a job. He says, so I'll put another layer on, and another layer, and I'll get up to this height. How much does it need in depth of soil to grow a range of small items? Again, I go back to an experience I had with a wee boy with cystic fibrosis in a wheelchair, and he was dead keen to do things. Well, I got 4 old-fashioned school desk tables that were big enough for him to get underneath. And we put about 6 inches round the tables. So there was only 6 inches of soil, but he could grow lettuces and radishes and things. And he could get his wheel right into the job, and he could get right over and got some smashing pictures. His nose was nearly on, and sort of, you know, sort of thing. But he was chuckling and chuffed to bits with a little bit of intuition. You don't need Clyde-built, you know, beds and great big concrete blocks and all the rest of it. We need to be more adventurous. I've seen a single desk size for a wheelchair to run under. That's getting a bit expensive, but you can certainly use your initiative, as Fiona says, turn things to make them what you can grow things in. And not only that, but I mean these tables, a bit heavy, but a couple of adults could actually move them, you know, and he could get through between them, these wheelchairs. Absolutely stonking in this, and just to see him at it. And later on, we got some nice footage from his mum. You know, we've got to be a bit adventurous in that regard.
Can I ask, are your tools always in this pristine condition?
Well, it's just a pity that you weren't here, because otherwise you would have got the message. Did you ever serve a meal and put down a dirty knife and fork?
No, not mine. No,
I don't think anybody would admit to that. Well, it's the same when you go out to do a job. It's nice to know that that's clean. And I used to say to the youngsters at school, I used to say, it goes at cellular. In other words, a nice shiny surface, the soil falls off. And I hate to see people just leave them and walk away. And it happens at Beach Grove. It happens at Beach Grove. The ultimate is to do raised beds.
I've got a few raised beds for disabled, and actually there's 2 long ones, as you say, about this, and because it's for access to wheelchair, they couldn't get in, so they dismantled them and put a bit in the middle, so it's a wheelchair to get in and out.
It's not, that system doesn't work for wheelchairs, because inevitably they'll have to work sideways. You know, they'll have to turn themselves round. They can't get out that way. You've got to get the wheels underneath, just like a table. really, and let her run on them. And that does work. And you don't need, as I say, a huge depth just to ground some things. I mean, what depth is there in a window box? And think what people can grow in a window box. You don't need, you know, that much. 8, 10 inches in all money, plenty to grow a range. I mean, you're not going to grow great long carrots, but you can grow stump-rooted carrots.
If they put it on legs, it would have been better, actually.
Can't do that.
And 4 foot wide as well. Yeah. But those are best for archery.
Stretch.
Yeah.
What you can do from either side. You know, basically, it's, well, of course, it depends on the age of the people, but a metre wide is plenty. You get half roads for either side. Some will chance it out a little bit more than that, but there we go. Any more? You can get out of school early then, it's 10 minutes in.